I'll be joined by Livingstone Kawesi for sign language interpretation and translation. We'll start with what's happening in our region and in Uganda. The chief prosecutor of the International Criminal Court says he wants to launch proceedings against the Ugandan rebel leader Joseph Kony. This is the first time the prosecutor's office has sought a hearing to confirm charges in a suspect's absence. An arrest warrant was issued for the leader of the Lord's Resistance Army 17 years ago on 33 counts of war crimes and crimes against humanity. The LRA launched a rebellion in Uganda in the 1990s, killing, mutilating and abducting people, especially children. Mr. Kony's whereabouts are unclear, but the Lord's Resistance Army has been active in Sudan and the Central African Republic. Moving on to the DRC, the M23 rebels in the Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo have said that a ceasefire supposed to take hold on Friday evening does not concern the group. They called on the DRC government for direct dialogue. The rebels' spokesperson, Lawrence Kanyuka, said that as they had no representatives at Wednesday's mini-summit in the Angolan capital, Luanda, they were not included in the accord. The signatories from Rwanda, the DRC, Angola and Burundi say that under the cessation of hostilities, if the rebels did not withdraw from the area, an East African regional force would attack their positions. Kinshasa has refused to engage with the M23, calling them terrorists. DRC accuses Rwanda of backing the rebels who have been advancing on the regional capital, Goma. Rwanda denies the involvement. 13 people were killed and 12 others are reported missing following fierce fighting between two rival factions of the rebel Sudanese Liberation Movement NUR group in Central Darfur State, Western Sudan, according to the UN. In a statement issued yesterday, the United Nations Humanitarian Agency, OCHA, in Sudan, said the clashes started on the 19th of November in the Umu and Al-Shin areas of Shamal Jebel Mara locality. 6 people were abducted and 4 others wounded, privately owned and Al-Intibaha news site reported. The fighting later spread to the villages of Daya, Wara and Kia in the same locality, with an estimated 5,600 people reportedly fleeing their homes and moving to in displaced people's camps, according to the humanitarian agency. Moving on, Ukrainian First Lady Olena Zelenska has told the press that Ukraine will endure this coming winter despite the cold and the blackouts caused by Russian missiles, and will keep fighting what she describes as a war of world views, because without victory there can be no peace. She said they are ready to endure this with assertiveness and in a heavily secured situation in Kyiv. And Australia is set to bring in new laws to increase transparency after a report savaged the former Prime Minister for giving himself secret roles. Scott Morrison, who was defeated at an election this year, has defended his appointment to several ministries as necessary in extraordinary times. An inquiry by a former High Court Justice found his conduct was corrosive of trust in government. And current Prime Minister Anthony Albanese says it was unpredictable and inexcusable. It emerged in August this year that Mr. Morrison had become Joint Minister for Health, Finance, Treasury, Home Affairs and Resources in the 2 years before he lost power in May. And the former German Chancellor Angela Merkel has defended her policy towards Russia prior to the February invasion of Ukraine, saying she had run out of power to influence Vladimir Putin. She said she had tried to convene European talks with the Russian president